And now we have Katy Talento, Executive Director of the Alliance of Healthcare, Sharing Ministries, and former Trump White House healthcare official, joining me now to discuss what this all means for American families as far as the CDC's Vaccine Advisory Panel making a major change to the childhood vaccine recommendations. Thank you so much for joining us here. I want to get into this. The panel is now no longer recommending a hepatitis B vaccination for newborns. Why the change? Do we have updated science?
Well, the science doesn't really need to be updated. The original science under which the hepatitis B vaccine was first licensed by the FDA and then recommended for all newborns by the ACIP committee was really shady. It only followed children for 5 days, and it only did so for about 147 children. So if you have a disease that happens or an adverse event that happens in 1 in 500 children, let's say, that wouldn't have been caught in the 147 children. So, or any disease that happens at a rate more rare than 1 in 147. So that was terrible science. It never should have been recommended for newborns in the first place. We didn't need new science we just needed to actually look at the original science and the original approval. And I'm so grateful that the ACIP committee finally did that.
On the other side of this, we have Senator Bill Cassidy, experienced as a doctor. He posted online this, quote, "The birth dose is a recommendation, not a mandate. Before the birth dose was recommended, 20,000 newborns a year were infected with hepatitis B. Now it's fewer than 20. Katy, will we see significantly fewer people getting vaccinated, and is that a concern?
No, it's not a concern, and this is why. Most women, almost all women, are tested for hepatitis B when they're pregnant, before they go into labor. And certainly once they're in labor at the delivery department, at the labor and delivery department, they're tested for hepatitis B. So if they are positive, then sure, you can vaccinate their newborns. But most women are not positive for this disease, which is sexually transmitted disease and is transmitted through injection drug use. There are some transmission cases that are in more mainstream populations, especially among East Asian populations. But in that situation, you would just test the mom and then make a different decision, perhaps.
Now, for parents, new parents, at a practical level, what will it now look like? How will it change their experience during the child's early health care period?
Well, these hepatitis B vaccines are given to babies, to newborns, on the very first day of life, like the day they're born, within 12 hours. So lots of times parents don't even see that happen. They take the baby over to a countertop somewhere else in the room or out of the room, and parents don't even see it. So not having that happen is not going to have any impact on, what the parents or the child's experience is, except they're not going to get stabbed by a needle that, is scary and painful for that baby in the first 12 hours, when they really ought to be bonding with their mother. They ought to be skin to skin with their mother and not interrupted at all.
But since it's just a recommendation, would the parents have, would they used to have any say in this, or was it just kind of the baby was taken just, from them without the parents knowing?
It was usually a situation where it was asked of them, we're going to take the baby and do the routine vaccinations. And then if you objected, then you could object in most situations. But most people didn't. Now it's not going to be such a routine thing. So parents are going to be talked to and given more of a informed consent that they have in the past.
And some parents, maybe many who are Democrats, might not trust the panel's new recommendations after Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. replaced all 17 members. What would you say to them? Does the panel have a predetermined goal with doing away with vaccines, or are they following some data?
Well, like I said, on the hepatitis B vaccine, they're definitely following the data for sure. But I understand not trusting government bodies, and I don't think parents necessarily should trust government bodies. Now, without having this on the routine childhood schedule, they actually have more flexibility to just have the conversation with their own doctor.
And do you foresee any other changes coming to the childhood vaccine schedule that we can anticipate?
It's too soon to say. There was a very informative presentation by outside lawyer and vaccine expert Aaron Siri today at the committee, and he spoke extensively about the lack of safety data in the entire childhood schedule with very interesting statistics. So I encourage people to look at that. But right now, I don't think the ACIP is going to do anything in the immediate, next month or two on the rest of the schedule.
All right, Katy Talento, thank you so much for your insights here today. Really appreciate it.